A job is hard to find. E-I-E-I-O. The economy is kind of fucked. E-I-E-I-O. He's unemployed, she's unemployed. Everywhere, everyone is unemployed. A job is hard to find. E-I-E-I-O.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
The thing about being unemployed as a doctor is that no one actually believes you are. Even you're still in doubt. I was recently looking at my bank account, and at this point, the only thing I could afford to pay for my sins, and only if they're 50% off. Being unemployed still feels like finding out that the quiet girl in class is pregnant, you know? How? Uzama? How? I thought Mbali would go first. But I'm not like sulky or depressed or anything, you know, because on the bright side, I'll get to say, I used to be poor, I had nothing. I used to sleep in my car, and it was an A class, not even a C. But I really won't lie, this is probably the toughest time in my life, man. Yo, mentally. And I've seen every rich person talk about when they used to struggle and how it made them stronger, you know. I just feel more hungry. At the same time, I'm motivated to write a book, you know, like what would I call it? Like the 5 Cent Club, or Poor Dad, Poorer Dad. A true rags to rags story, you know, because I sold all the other rags. I can already see the headlines. The New York Times called it a shame. But honestly, I'm not going to lie, this has kind of changed my perspective on life. You know, I used to walk around and look at homeless people and I'm like, you're so lazy, that could never be me. Now I walk around and think to myself, damn, all the good spots are taken. I'm sure people were even shocked seeing doctors strike. We were there with our signs and everyone was confused. After 30 minutes, like, what are they striking for? Luckily, the pharmacists were there to translate. But I'm not even upset at the government. I'm more upset at my biology teacher. She used to say, Given, if you keep on talking in the back, you'll never get a job. Study like Solidus and you'll be employed. Last week, Given got a tender for 2 million.
So this is my 8th month of being unemployed. At this point, I don't have any sort of life. I'm not going out. I'm not meeting people. I'm not going out into society and talking to people. I am finding jobs all the time. I'm spending hours upon hours filling in application forms I know won't even be considered because it's just a formality. That is the basis of this country, the fact that the whole job application thing is often a formality and it's, you know, all the Nepo babies that get the jobs. Sick of the fact that it's a full-time job in itself to try and find a full-time job, and I'm not even getting paid for it. Why is finding a full-time job a full-time job? So many unemployed people in this country who need a job. How are we supposed to get previous experience in the first place if no one will give us a chance? Like, give us a chance.
So one of the worst time ever in my lifetime is when I was unemployed last year. So this is not because I was laid off. This is because I quit myself because the job was treating me really poorly. And if I continue any longer, my mental was gonna be like, so I just decided to go. And I was so happy when I quit. It feels like my pressure on my shoulder went away. But then at the same time, a different pressure comes in, which is like, I need to find a job, right? It's like 6 months of unemployment, looking for a new job, and always there's doubt in myself that, okay, I'm literally just a foreigner here. I don't even have education in the States, and I don't speak 100% grammatically correct in English either. So then why would anybody want to hire me over any actual American people here? And there's lots of a fight in myself, but in the end, I try to believe in myself and I can do this. And one thing that I'm so proud of myself is I have such a tenacity, is that the word? Like I am really consistent and I never give up until I get something that I want. So that really worked out and I was able to find a job, which I feel so happy about. And this job has been super amazing. I feel so fortunate. But moral of the story is that if you don't think that you are in the right place, you need to get the fuck out and move on, find something good for you because things are gonna work out for you eventually, even though sometimes it doesn't feel that way. But eventually, unless you quit.
I don't know how much longer I can take being unemployed at this rate. I feel like when you're working, you have the stress of the job, right? And that I think I prefer, of course, than the stress of trying to get a job, pay everything, and just, I don't know, provide as well. But I don't know why it's so hard in 2025 to get something. I don't know if I was told I'm overqualified. I basically was a business administrator, then a curriculum administrator, then a project administrator. So I have progressed, but I'm not seeming to get any of the jobs that I'm overqualified for, nor the next step up. What kind of jobs can I be applying for then? Maybe I need to, I don't know, branch out, stick with what I was in. I have no idea.
I lost my job in Japan. I went to talk to the Foreign Support Center in Japan today. Basically, I'm trying to see what I need to do because they basically canceled the contract before it started. And I already quit my job and moved for this. They told me that not much I can do. I already talked to a lawyer, but they said I can go talk to another lawyer, see what they say as advice. I can go talk to the Labor Bureau in Tokyo, and they will try to do a mediation where they discuss what we can. Maybe they'll give me compensation and how much, that type. But it's not enforceable, and the company doesn't even need to show up. So it's a small company, so I don't think they'll show up, and I'm kind of left with no options. I don't know what to do.
Guys, everyone's unemployed. Job market at the moment is absolutely insane. Every single day I go on my LinkedIn and someone has been laid off, or they left their job because the company was just doing an absolute madness. Roles were getting changed, and it's like what's actually going on? I was talking to my friend this morning about it, and we're just saying how like it's so crazy that we are like the offspring of the hustle culture, and a lot of people are trying to make something for themselves, but it's like the job market and the current state of the economy is just not working with our mindsets. It's just like not working with our mindsets. And yeah, it's a shame because a lot of people are struggling right now and don't know what's happening next. Recruiters are airing people. Hiring managers are overwhelmed with CVs and applications. And then I'm also hearing that some of these applications that are posted on like LinkedIn and all of these job like boards aren't real jobs. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, how did it get this bad? It's crazy.
That's the hard truth that most of the younger generations in Italy have to face. There is a really high percentage of young people moving abroad to either Europe or Australia or other countries because they see better opportunities there. Don't get me wrong, I love my country, I love Italy, and I think that's the best place for retirement. But if you want to get a good career, that's just not the place. Entry-level position starts at 500, 800 euros. And then of course you can get promoted, but that's a really slow process. So I first moved abroad when I was 18 and I never came back except for COVID. And I don't think I will ever go back to Italy. I would definitely prefer getting some job experiences elsewhere. Even if I'm doing a master, Italy's it's not the place I want to get my education or I want to work as early in my career.
The Australian government has me mildly fucked up. What do you mean I have to go to regional or remote Australia for 3 to 6 months to work on a farm? Or if I get lucky, I could work in hospitality. And then I go to said regional Australia. I'm handing out my CV to all those cafes, all those hotels, restaurants, bars, all of it. And I'm like, please give me a job. And all these places are like, no. I thought the whole point of having working holiday makers do this is because they are struggling to staff companies in regional and remote Australia. Can I please have a job?
Do you know what actually really gets on my last nerves? These job applications, like, what the hell? I spent hours, I'm not even joking, hours on applications, on even just like one application, because apparently putting my CV isn't enough. They want more information. They want me to rewrite my education history. They want me to rewrite my employment history. I'm doing all of this. I'm rewriting cover letters like specific to your jobs. I'm changing my CV specific to your job role, and you don't even have the decency to respond to my application. Not even a rejection email, just pure ghosted. Like, at least if I get rejected, I know that you've probably not even seen it, but you've at least seen my name and that my application has come through and you've just rejected me. But to ghost me and not even give me a response, that shit hurts.
I'm a Nigerian studying in Italy, and there is this problem of unemployment in Italy, and I'm like, okay, what is Italy doing wrong? So this is my theory. I might be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. Let's forget about the bureaucracy in Italy where you have to do a lot of paper documentations just because you want to do a tiny thing, and let's focus on other problems. I feel like Italy or Italians do not support new ideas or new innovations. They don't tend to take risks, and that is not supporting new ideas because they are very comfortable with the old ways or the old things or the old brands that they know. They don't try new things. Like Italy in the market is known for maybe like some cars, some luxurious wares and food and tourism and wine and very other few things, and nothing new. And I feel like, so even for brands, even in the country, people tend to buy the old known brands, be it affordable or luxurious brand. Nobody's trying something new. So no more, like, nothing new is coming up. So no employment. Watch out for part two. I have a lot of things to say.
Yeah, it's so insane. There's just like not enough jobs for the amount of people, and you're going up against like 400 people. Like, I was looking for work and I saw the same job that I applied for like be posted again. So they look at the 400 applicants and it's just like not good enough. So imagine that, 2 ads, what's that? If there's 400, maybe like 600 to 800 applicants for one role. And the reason why they can do this is because it's an employer's market right now. So the employers just have all the power. So that means they can just choose the best of the best. Like, people who are not even entry level are the ones that will be going for the entry level roles because they're getting pushed down.
For the people who are employed and making money, this video is not for you. I want to talk to the people who are unemployed. Like, what do you guys do for the whole day? Like, after you're done applying for all the jobs you can for the day? Because, like I have so much time. I don't know what to do with all this time. Like, I go to the gym. I make my meals. Like, I can't go for a walk. It's too cold outside. Like, I don't want to get frostbite on my toes. Like I finished Squid Game in like 2 days. Like it's an hour an episode. Like I don't know what to do with the rest of my day. Like, can anyone relate? Like, I don't.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
I'm noticing a pattern in myself that is trying to come back to the surface. And that is that anytime I am going through a job change for whatever reason, I tend to be a serial applier. My hyperfixation becomes, I need to find a job as soon as possible. And what ends up happening is I get so obsessed with finding a job that I literally redo my resume and cover letters and applications again and again and again until I end up completely burnt out. And then there's the excitement from the interviews and the exhaustion from the interviews and the scripting and the calculating and the budgeting. And then there's the deciding on like accepting a job offer. And then there's the period of people pleasing during training, and that ends up putting me in a place where I'm overcommitting, overcompensating, and then I end up in a real burnout, like a deep burnout, because I was already exhausted from the application process, hyperfixation, and the dopamine and the adrenaline and all of the big feels. And then maybe a month or so into the job is usually when I have my first meltdown, publicly or privately. And that kind of has always been my thing. And today is my first day officially unemployed. And I did apply to 2 jobs last week. And I'm sitting here and like I can feel myself being like, you're supposed to be rapid applying. You're supposed to start the thing that we do. But I know that it's not what is best for me. And I know that it is not effective in the long run. And I'm really trying to just pump the brakes a little bit and just get myself grounded before I just keep rapid doing all of those things. All of this is really emotionally draining for me, and that doesn't take away from the fact that I am very thankful that my spousal visa went through and that I have confirmation that I'm a permanent resident of Canada. I'm so thankful, and I'm also like, holy smokes, in this economy, we cannot live on one income. It's just a lot for me right now, and I'm trying to make sense of it all. Last week and the weekend was so exhausting. I look tired, yes. I also was sharing a bed with Tegan. She was sleeping, but she elbowed me straight in the nose. I broke my nose in 2019, but you can see that I have bruising here and here. It's nothing too dramatic, but I did get a good little knock from Tegan straight into this area. It was awful. Like, it was in the middle of the night. So all of a sudden, like, I just had this huge impact. Anyways, so I'm exhausted, but I didn't want you to think that, like, my eyes are like that because of the tiredness. These are just actually some bruises, but it's okay. My skin is getting the brunt of it. Like, I always say, this is my temperature check. Like, this is how you know, especially my thumbs, if I am struggling with anxiety or not, is my fingers. I'm going to try to be active, to like do something, because I'm just sitting here ruminating, dissociating, watching the time go by, and that's also not effective for me.
A few days ago, I was actually watching a documentary on unemployment in China, and 25% of the people in China are unemployed. 25%. That is literally insane. They have a crisis over there too. Like, it's all around the world. The world is feeling the pain. The average person is feeling the pain of being without a job. So it's a really serious issue that our leaders have to address. It's a very serious issue.
I've been unemployed for a year and I'm so tired of it. I yearn for it to be a little capitalist cog in the machine again. I just want to go into my job and make my little coffee and make money and do something. I'm so sick of this. Please, someone give me a job.
Okay, I read the jobs report and I have a lot of thoughts and feelings and questions and concerns. So people who are smarter than me, please comment. So it said that the unemployment rate is at 4% for the first time in 2 years. So it's going up, which like I believe as someone who's unemployed, but I also had this moment of realization that like I don't even count in that 4% because my unemployment benefits ran out. So like I'm not a part of that statistic. And they're also saying that over 200,000 jobs were added last month. So there's more jobs and more people available to do these jobs. And we're just like supposed to believe that these jobs are real, but no one got them. I don't know. I know these are all statements posed as questions, but I need help. Oh, and since all of you love it when I talk about statistics and things I know nothing about, I did some extra research, and I think like a lot of these articles were sponsored by The Audacity because I don't know what people are thinking when they wake up in the morning and write some things down. I read a whole article about how the Great Resignation screwed us and how like all these people that left their jobs for better opportunities in like 2022 are now afraid to leave their current roles because they even are scared of the job market. And it's like, so you have people that got promotions and are like looking really great in this world. They're even afraid to look for jobs. Little old me over here, unemployed 3 times in 3 years, I'm shaking in my boots, okay? Because if they're scared, then I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think it's hard for me to get comfortable with the idea that people are just like choosing to settle for less instead of like going for a job that they actually want because they're afraid of like this big thing, the economy and like all of this stuff. Like that is scary and also like sad. It's really sad. We're in this like land of opportunity. We should be shooting for things that we want, but we can't. So I'm probably like the complete wrong person to talk about this given my unemployment status, but would someone with a job please comment and let me know, like, are you choosing to settle for less because you're scared of the job market or like what's going on? I also saw an article that literally said layoffs are at low levels and so is the unemployment rate according to reports. And I want to know like what reports, because in the Slack community that I started, there's a lot of people, a majority of the people are on like month 8, but most people have been unemployed over 12 months. Like there's literally no way for reporters or economists to truly track what job seekers are experiencing. Like I have a front row seat to the reality of the economy and the conversation that's like happening in the job market and like what people are actually navigating. And it's like, just like these reports, I don't know. It's hard for me to like, you know, I'm doing my own data analysis here around like storytelling and experience. And I know numbers, but like we're humans. And as humans, don't we need to like corroborate the data with some level of story? Oh, and here's my favorite quote. I'm going to read it. The labor market has slowed from the go-go days of 2022, but it is not in crisis. Most people who want to work are eventually finding jobs. An economist said that. I can't say who because I don't want to throw them under the bus, but you could find the article if you want. Literally, that goes against what every single person in this community is experiencing. And we have almost 2,000 people now. And this like further hits home with this idea that like economists and experts are so far removed from what people are actually experiencing. And it's like, they don't even, they can be, like, that's their privilege. They can be removed from what everybody's experiencing because they have jobs.
This is my first full day of being laid off, and I just want to express some annoyance and confusion. I'm annoying, okay? So, like, I posted on my story that I got laid off. I made it my entire personality trait of yesterday. I posted on LinkedIn, and I got so many replies from various people being like, oh, like, join the club. And I'm so confused because I know so many people looking for jobs right now. When I'm seeing articles all over the place that the US opened 2024 with, like, over 300,000 jobs, where are these jobs? People I know across so many fields like tech, business, entertainment, delivery even, are getting laid off left and right this year. And it's only February, like, more is to come. And the people that I do know that have been jobless for a while have been jobless for a while. Like, no one is getting a job. And it's even more frustrating because all of these jobs that do exist are in major cities across America, and rent prices are fucking astronomical. I was told yesterday when I got laid off that I'd get one more paycheck, a severance, and I'd get the remaining amount of money for the vacation days I didn't take. I did the math, and with my current rent in a major US city, if I don't get a job in like 5 months, I will be homeless. It's just insane. Like, we're force-fed the idea that we need to live in major cities because that is where these jobs are, while simultaneously nobody is getting a job. And they're like, there are so many jobs, but there are no jobs. Living in a world in which they're saying there is something when visually in the world, I am not seeing them, and all of my friends and family looking for jobs are not seeing them, while gas prices continue to go up, rent continues to go up, and food prices continue to go up. It's like, I'm just confused. I just don't understand what is going on and why we're being fed information that doesn't seem right. It's frustrating, and I am scared.
Okay, so I've officially been unemployed for 1 week. Literally 1 week. Like, I finished my internship last Wednesday, and I've had like 2 days where I've not had anything kind of planned. And even in them days, I've still done things like go to the gym, or like go swimming, or like do a food shop, and like do journal, or like read and stuff like that, which is really nice stuff. But I feel like a fucking failure because I'm literally like, I'm not doing anything productive. And like, those things are actually very productive, like my mindset and like my well-being and like my inner sense of self. But I don't know why I can't do things without feeling like a piece of shit. Like, I'm literally just sat there watching Gilmore Girls now, and it's like 4:30, and I've like been swimming, like done a food shop, like gone for a long walk, like journaled, done nice stuff, and I'm like, ooh, you're a little failure. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it. I don't understand it. I don't understand why I can't just feel like happy and taking the time. Like, it's not like I've been unemployed for like 5 years, and even if you have, fine, I respect that. Like, I love that. Like, we are in such a fucking culture of like, you have to work, you have to be doing productive, like you have to I'm like, why have I not made a business? I've been unemployed a week. Why have I not set up a 6-figure business? 1, I don't know how to do that. 2, I feel like it's not that easy. 3, I've been unemployed a week. Like, chill, girl. But yeah, I just feel like if anyone else is unemployed, can we be friends? I don't know, I'm struggling.
Yeah, they're legit firing people in America and then hiring my cousins back home in India. I'm happy for them and everything, but wow.
I'm a junior doctor and I'm about to be unemployed. I feel like this is something which is really not spoken about kind of anywhere enough. So when you apply to train as a doctor, or even the media, there's kind of that stigma that if you train to be a doctor, you will have job security. For the first 2 years out of med school, any doctors who have graduated in the UK do have near enough guaranteed work. After that, you're near enough on your own, to be honest. If you want to specialise to be a children's doctor, for example, then you have to apply into that training scheme at the end of your like 2-year confirmed contract. And if you don't get it, then what? There are far more doctors applying every year for jobs than there are numbers of jobs. So obviously not everybody can get one. If you are not lucky enough to secure training on a training pathway, which none of my friends who I work with have been this year, nobody has got even an interview really, then come August, all of our contracts are going to expire and we don't have any jobs to go to. Everybody is hoping to get these kind of 1-year contract, either working in a department or working in like teaching medical students or something. But we were told at our hospital there were 4 of those jobs available last year and 350 applicants. So What have the other 346 doctors done? These are all qualified doctors who are not getting jobs. We had a meeting about this at work the other day, and they legitimately recommended to us all to go to Australia or even apply for jobs at Tesco, because there are just not enough jobs to go around for junior doctors at the moment. Like, we have doctors who are qualified and ready to practice and no jobs for them. I'm sat here in my house, you know, I've applied for a couple of jobs today, but if I don't get one, because I might not, you know, I'm not the most competitive candidate. I graduated quite young. I haven't done very many like extra things on top of getting a medical degree and working, which should be enough. I'm sat here in my house thinking, how am I going to pay my mortgage in a few months' time, you know? And then there comes the kind of highly political topic of why are there so many locum doctors? Well, there are so many locum doctors because we haven't got a choice. Like, if I can't get a working contract, I'm going to be looking to pick up any locum shifts that are offered to me to make sure that I can pay my bills, because like I said, the alternative is going to Australia, which I can't do because I own my house, or working at Tesco. So I'm going to pick up locum shifts. A significant amount of my cohort are actually just thinking about leaving medicine entirely, which I think is really quite sad. Like, you know, you work so hard to get to this point. You're all highly qualified individuals with, you know, years of experience working as a doctor, and then people are just thinking of leaving because it's too hard to get a job. I guess really the point of this rant, if you're a medical student or you know a medical student, forward this to them, because my message for them is don't assume you're going to have a job after you finish your foundation years. And I guess my second kind of point to making this video for the, you know, 5 people that'll see it is who knows what I can do with a medical degree. I'm obviously thinking about teaching. I'm still trying to get a job in a hospital, you know, clinically working with patients. It's just that they're very hard to come by, and some of them aren't out yet, and I'm just starting to get itchy feet. So if anybody knows what I can do with a medical degree, please let me know. Because it's all very well and good telling us to go work in Tesco, but do they realise how competitive those jobs are? I'm just saying. Okay, thanks.
If you are unemployed right now, how are you guys surviving, really? Is it through unemployment insurance? Is it through stuff like Lyft and Uber? Is it through, yeah, like what exactly are you guys doing right now to survive? Let me know in the comment section down below.
What people have told me since I've gotten laid off: apply for unemployment immediately. I'm so sorry to hear that. Is there anything I can do for you? Take this time to rest and relax. Enjoy fun employment. Go on dates. Explore new hobbies and interests. How the hell do you get laid off? Some people thought I was joking that I got laid off and didn't believe me. And then I was like, no, I'm serious. And then they were so shocked. My mom really hit me up with the, hey, all my ajumas at church, they pray at 5:30 in the morning every day. Can they pray for you? And I was like, heck yeah. Give me the power of God and old ladies on my side to get me a job. And other people, you know, I'm just in their thoughts. They feel for me. Someone also ended up making my layoff all about them and how I don't talk to them about like things that are going on in my life. I have plenty going on in my life right now. Like, got 9 weeks of severance. Some people said, oh my God, that's so much time. Like, you're good. Others said that 9 weeks of severance is not a lot at all. You'll bounce back real quick. Are you gonna take this time to travel? Other people offered me their workspaces and offices to help me, you know, have a place to work and apply for jobs. The same person that told me how the hell did I get laid off also said that beggars can't be choosers. My roommates offered their condolences, and one of them actually made extra batches of food for me, which was a really nice thought. I didn't realize people had so many thoughts and opinions about my getting laid off. But thank you to my friends, the real ones that have been nothing but supportive and there for me this entire time. And it's only been 3 days.
Hey, so the unemployment rate, when they come up with that number for youth right now, it's like 13 point something percent or 14% or something. The number, like to be classified as an unemployed person in those numbers, you have to be available to work in the last 4 weeks, actively seeking work, on a layoff looking to return to work, or waiting to start a job. So essentially you have to be actively in the labor force. So it's not actually counting people that are not looking for work. So if a college university student is not looking for a job, they're just in college university doing the school thing, they're not actually part of those numbers. If they're going to school and they are looking for like part-time work or something, they might be part of these numbers if they're unemployed. But the majority of it really comes down to whether or not they're actively seeking work. So the number is so I guess the short answer is maybe a tiny bit, but not a lot of that. Not a lot of that. Yeah. I really appreciate this question. This is a great question. Thanks.
If you were laid off and you're also Asian, can we talk about the amount of shame that you may have felt? I'm kidding, but also not really. As someone who is half Chinese and got laid off back in 2022, in many Asian cultures, like your professional achievements, your job, are highly valued and tied to your worth, which in turn can lead to disappointment and also feeling like a sense of failure, not only for yourself, but like the rest of your family. And within Asian communities, there can be a stigma of what unemployment brings. Like you're lazy, you're not qualified, you're not a good worker. But especially in this economy, in this job market, where companies are looking to trim off extras, essentially laying off their workforce, I wanted to come on here and say, as someone who was laid off for over 7 months and unemployed for 7 months, it does get better. And these feelings of worthlessness or failure or like disappointment to your family, if you are Asian, I just want to say, like, please don't feel that way. I promise it gets better. Follow me for more tips and tricks. I got through layoffs, I now got a job, and you can do the same.
Alright, I have some news to share. I'm gonna be unemployed January 20th because my visa expires January 19th, and my company, well, not unemployed, like they're gonna keep my employment, but they're gonna put me on unpaid leave, meaning I'm not gonna get paid, and that can last up until, who knows, it could be summer. So I'm gonna be not earning any money for the next 1 to 6 months. It will all depend on how fast the government does my documentation.
Can we just take a second to acknowledge how hard it is for international students and job seekers in the United States, especially from people who are of Indian descent or perhaps Chinese because of the whole green card delay. I'm completing my PhD next month. It's been almost 6 years, and I'm struggling to find a job after getting a PhD. It's hard. It's really, really hard.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.